All right, what's up, guys? Wednesday morning here. Show just dropped last night, so make sure to check out show 315 Ironman wrap up. Some of this stuff we kind of covered in that. However, there's been so much talk and rumors and speculations here going on that we got to talk more here. We had to jump on and talk more. So first thing being, we all saw Sexton have that big crash there at Ironman, and press dropped yesterday that he will not be competing in the last 2 rounds of pro motocross. Now, not really a big surprise there. Sexton and KTM are not getting along. They've been not getting along since the first round. So there was definitely questions of would we see him. In fact, I believe Justin asked me on the show, do you think we'll see him again in motocross here? Or we at least talked about it. I don't remember, 3-hour show. There was a lot of things we talked about. There was some stuff we talked about off the air. But that was confirmed. He is no longer riding pro motocross. Will we see him for SMX? I think we will. However, if it does go sideways quickly there in SMX in the first round, I think he cuts bait, he's out. That'll be the last time we see him on a KTM. Where this gets super interesting, he's confirmed for Des Nations, and everybody in the know is saying he's gonna ride that KTM at Des Nations. Now, will he actually ride that KTM at Des Nations? I don't know. This is a weird situation that's only gonna develop more. And all this stuff we'll talk about on the main show this week here when we wrap up Unadilla. But it's wild. It's absolutely wild. This silly season, which is where we're going next, is crazy. Now, next thing I wanted to talk about here, Prado situation. It was brought to light Friday with a tweet from Mathis that there was a possibility of Prado moving back to KTM on a bonus only program. And when we first heard about it, rumor, speculation, no big deal. However, this has become such a thing that it was talked about on the main Pulp show. Michael Lindsay made a video. There's been multiple tweets. Daniel Blair talked about it. This is a real thing. Like, this is really, Ian Harrison confirmed conversations have happened between them and Prado. Kawasaki said to, I believe, KTM told Michael Lindsay that there's a possibility, or that they are talking. Kawasaki told Steve that this is a possibility. This is really a conversation of him going away. Now, they did say that they were testing Supercross over the break here, and so that's interesting. And there's been talk that they don't think they would test Supercross if he wasn't coming back next year. However, I think they're testing Supercross for to kind of see if Prado thinks the bike is somewhere it can be. Like, if he's testing Supercross and doesn't think that the bike can be what it's supposed to be, I think he cuts bait and jumps out of there and does go to KTM. Conversations have happened here. Ian Harrison wouldn't confirm only 2 450s and 2 250s for next year, since it's pretty well known that Vial's leaving. There's a lot to this, and this is a spicy meatball. It's only going to get spicier as we go here. Now, the real interesting thing when you come around full circle on this, the real interesting thing with this is that if Prado leaves, this leaves an empty spot at Kawasaki, because then they'll just have Chase. And then Lewis drops on Pulp last night, or on Monday night, that he throws a name out that one of the only big name guys that isn't signed currently, Ken Roczen. Kenny going to Kawasaki would be wild. That's the only bike Kenny didn't ride when he did his whirlwind tour of bikes a couple of years ago, because Pro Circuit built him a 450, but he signed with HEP before that, so he never got to ride it. He could take his Fox deal. The only place that this gets tricky is with Red Bull, because he's a Red Bull athlete. I don't know. Weird situation. Super duper weird situation. And let's not even start to get into freaking the MXGP riders that are coming over, trying to come over. Koldenhoff's trying to come over. This is wild. Now we'll talk about all this more on the main show. I just wanted to kind of put out there the Ken Roczen to Kawasaki thing. Super duper interesting. Low chance of happening, especially with the Red Bull thing, as I'm literally talking about this, thinking about it. However, it's out there in the ether. It's out there. And then Prado going to KTM. This could be a real thing. A real thing. Which is wild. And then, of course, just to get it in the video, you always got to throw in the fact that, you know, or I'm sorry, the possibility that Deegan's going to ride 450 Supercross next year. With that being said, comment your thoughts down below on all this stuff. Again, like I said, we'll cover all this on the main show. If you guys want to talk more about this directly with me, join the members area, B-Class Bench Racers down there. Thirsty Thursday, members only live stream. We'll be talking. I'll be camping this week, but we will be doing the live stream for sure as I walk around a campground on a family vacation. So make sure to comment, like, subscribe there, join the members area. We'll be back with more videos this week as more news drops. So see you later.